John. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our daily gun show. Come to you live every weeknight at midnight Eastern, and we talk about guns for an hour. We've got a couple people joining us tonight. We've got Gary jumping in from Kansas. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for the invite.
And we got Roosted jumping in from Minnesota. Thanks for jumping in.
Hey, yeah, you're welcome. Hope everybody's doing well tonight.
I am. I'm down here in Arizona. Hope everybody is doing well as well. And we've got some people over on the platform where we're hosting this for now, until the better platforms start doing live. And they have links over on gunchannels.com, which is a community we built for now. Running this on gunchannels.com, which is a community that we built 5 years ago. It was a group effort and has been a collaboration of people's efforts over those 5 years. And we have a text chat over there. So this show, like many of the shows over on Gun Channels, is an effort to be in the new media, an interactive conversation about guns. So we do this using the new tech, right? Using phones and using chat rooms and using whatever platforms allow us to go live, using the idea of getting together like we would around the water cooler at a gun show or at the gun shop or at the range. To have conversations about guns, ideally not focused on whatever the mainstream is telling us is the news of the day. So we tend to talk about the things that we're interested in. Today is Friday, 14th of December, so that makes it Free Patch Friday. One of our projects is the Gear website store, where we try to keep our projects online by selling stuff. And on Fridays, we give out free patches with any order over there. And since this is the last time we can send something out that'll get in the mail tomorrow and still get to everybody by Christmas, we tried to encourage a bunch of sales today by doing a thank you, I don't know what to call it, giveaways, I guess, where we put a bunch of stuff together, some stuff that I had that had been taken to gun shows and hadn't been moving, and some of the patches that have been given to us by other patch creators out there over the years, as well as some of our own patches and some other cool stuff. Some books from the Gun Rights Policy Conference, and we went on to Instagram earlier and bagged up. I think I have 7 of those all bagged up right now, and I'm thinking, we'll give out quite a few of those tonight. At this point, we have 15 orders that came in today. We do appreciate that. That is what allows us to stay online. We have quite a few projects out there. Many hundred of websites, 350 of them all together. About 100 and something of them are online and doing stuff. We're always efforting to bring more stuff onto the internet. That's what I do for a living. I personally find it interesting, and we can get into that story some other time. But that's one of the things that costs some money to exist. We have a couple of online communities, Gun Channels being a large one. Gun Channels, of course, is self-sufficient. We were just chatting about that on the text chat before the show went live today. But we rarely ever talk about the finances of Gun Channels because it is funded primarily by a few interested people who keep the place online. It doesn't have a tremendous cost, but it is significant for me. And it's completely self-sufficient. So thanks for the people who make that community possible, and the people that not only make it possible financially, but make it a useful community that fosters content creation. Besides Gun Channels, we have the Every Second Matters community, a community that we're trying to foster with, again, very little emphasis on fundraising to raise awareness of our Second Amendment, and more importantly, the ability of us each to contribute to that awareness and that reach. The organizations that are out there are always going to and always have struggled with technology, and organizations working together are always going to deal with the issues with multiple people being involved in projects. But those disadvantages can also be advantages, and those of us who are just interested advocates for those organizations Ideally, we'll use a system like Every Second Matters, another community that is simple to join. There's absolutely no cost. Anyone can join, and the idea there is it's a group of tools that allow people to amplify the existing messages from those gun owners' rights groups that already are doing tremendous effort and have been very effective. It's an opportunity for people who want to join into that to not disrupt their flow or not disrupt their systems, but simply to enhance. And that's a community that, again, it takes some time and it takes a little bit of money, and the contributions of people who buy stuff on the Gear website store or contribute to our Patreon accounts. Those are the communities that are funded by those efforts. And then we do some other things online as well. And, the videos and the social media presence. I attempt to keep history alive, and not just history of stuff that you can't afford to buy, but boring history like today, the anniversary of Brian Terry's death. Not because it's morbid, but because fuck Obama and fuck the ATF for sending guns to Mexico, allowing something like that to happen, knowing that that's exactly what they wanted to happen, so that they can still fear that the rifles are somehow to blame. So that kind of history and stuff is what I have passion for, and it's difficult because there's not much interest in it, so it doesn't get a lot of financial support out there, except for people like yourselves that I'm preaching to the choir right now. But I figure somebody might listen to this who isn't participating already, and again, this is a way to let them know that the people that are participating are very valued. Thank you very much for allowing us to do what we do. So we'll talk about giving away all that stuff a little bit later on in the show. It's Friday, though. We usually talk about the industry and tech, so we can talk about whatever topics we want. There are links out there. This is supposed to be a panel discussion. Gary consistently jumps in. I really appreciate that. Otherwise, I'd be here by myself, and these shows would be about 5 minutes long. Bruce has been jumping in quite a bit lately. Again, thank you. I know it's late at night. So for that reason, we're probably going to change the show up. I'll continue to do the show as long as possible. We're on episode 710. I think that's pretty neat. There's very few shows that reach that level, and it's not difficult. It doesn't cost me much to go live. It just takes time out of the day, and I'm not trying to lecture or be famous here. I just want to keep a fucking conversation going. So if people don't jump in, I'll do what I can to keep that conversation going. As long as I can. So without harping on everybody for not jumping in here, all I can do is say there's fucking links out there. Join in, or the show will go away, I guess. But what do we want to talk? Tech? The industry? Anything come to mind?
I'm up for some tech talk. I don't have anything in particular, I guess. It's always neat to see the direction we can head.
So what is new in the world of tech?
I don't know. We'll probably be finding out some things here at SHOT Show. Have you heard anything new coming out?
Just heard some inklings on new guns. I don't know. Technology-wise, I'm not really up on the new stuff. Roosted, have you heard anything?
No, I'm way behind when it comes to that sort of thing. I've been pretty busy with work and working on my own channel, being a little bit selfish. I guess I haven't done as much Google foo as I should be doing.
Yeah, I get most of my news from watching, stuff on gun channels and stuff like that. That's how I find out a lot of my information, because I don't subscribe to an awful lot of industry tech stuff out there. I'm not real sure where you'd go for that information, people you can trust. I trust most of the people on gun channels. So.
Yeah, most of the people
I know,
like scour.
Go ahead, G. I'm sorry.
They're not out like going and having like insider meetings with people. They're just watching the various headlines and watching the people that are having those meetings or what. And that's basically the best you can do is have people that are casually interested who gather, and then you get the extract from whatever they've browsed at, right? And that's how I think that's how you stay well informed. The smartest people out there, the people that have got the most going on, they don't have an opportunity to research every little thing. They are, network with people who are efficient at being aware, right? And then they're, they hone the conversations down to where they can, like Gary's saying, get the information from others on, like I said, the essence of whatever's going on. But anyway, I don't know. As far as tech-wise, I haven't heard anything new or innovative coming out this year. Like maybe those little Derringers were kind of interesting a couple of years back. The bullpup double mag shotguns were kind of a big thing years ago.
PSA's got their second generation KS-47 is out now.
So
it's the AR-15 platform that runs on AK-47 mags, 7.62 by 39. It's kind of cool looking.
Another incarnation of something that already exists, though.
And somebody said something.
Yeah, I'm sure they. Go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say, I'm sure they just upgraded some stuff and worked out a few bugs,
Somebody had said something that, and this is a little bit off topic, but that they were coming out with a different version of the Shockwave, I believe, next year that's going to have some wood furniture. A little bit heavier version of it.
That could be interesting.
A little bit heavier duty strap up front. So I know there's a lot of people out there that's. I still have yet to shoot a Shockwave or own one, so.
I think if I was going to go that direction, I'd probably head like 20 gauge myself.
Yeah, me too. Just me personally, I think I've got enough shotguns in my house. I'm not sure that I need another one. Yeah, they probably would be a little easier to get through your house. Small hallways and stuff like that. But I don't think it's all that difficult. I've got one of my two shotguns has a cut down barrel down to 18.5, and it's pretty maneuverable.
Yeah, the only shotgun I own is an 18.5-inch 500 with a pistol grip on it. So, yeah, let's see. Mossberg introduces 2019 Shockwave models. They got 3 separate ones. One is
you got a link,
very tactical or very original looking. The second one's got a flat top with a rail.
You screen
shroud.
You screen share it or link it?
Yeah, I can.
So Georgia truckers out there saying on the one side of this platform that doesn't like guns over here, saying I am waiting to see what Walter's coming out with since somebody in here won't talk. And since Ghost won't join this chat, I'll tell you, because he told me off air, I'll tell you what Walter's coming out with because he already knows and he told us. So I'm willing to spill the beans. It's a belt-fed 380. It's tripod mounted, but it's a 380 AC. It can hold like 5,000 rounds in like this sort of like looks like an office chair type of arrangement.
That would be cool.
It looks like the cross between like a Weber and a lawnmower. I don't know. They think it's.
Let's see pictures.
You can get it in full outdoors.
Let's see here.
That's what you get, Gus, for not being in here to defend yourself.
He has a link.
I like the thought of a belt fit.
Now his secret's out and his links with Walter are going to be jeopardized, but that's what happens. Yeah, what's going on?
There you go, G. Did that screen share come up?
Yeah, it's working. Thanks. That top one's okay. Those other ones can keep them.
Yeah, it's kind of different. I guess I'm into the wood, I suppose.
Yeah.
That sounded terrible.
That's kind of pretty.
What the hell's the deal with the one on the bottom? This one down here, what's that sticking off it?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's like one of them chainsaw grips where it goes under like a horseshoe and then comes up like perpendicular to the gun.
Oh, sure. I got you. So you could like overhand it.
Yeah. I don't know how it isn't a vert grip, but it comes up the top, and then I guess you can pump from there. I don't know. It's for shooting from the hip, I guess, and maybe for some sort of like, I don't know, just recreational like fun shooting. You shoot a bunch of bowling pins like that or something, or a bunch of antique cans on a fence.
Did you see the names they got on these? The 590 Nightstick, the 590 Shock and Saw, and the 590 PX, SPX.
Well, shock and saw is that one, I'm sure. I can't imagine what they're calling that other one. Is that supposed to have like an optic rail on it? That makes no sense.
SPA.
Yeah, it does. It's got the pick rail on top of it.
Oh, now I feel bad.
Can't tell if it comes with the side saddle or not, but I don't know. I guess the wood's an improvement, in my opinion.
The wood makes it like an old 70s shot-off shotgun almost.
They'd have a vented barrel.
But that's not new. That was at least not 2 years ago. It shot.
They'd have a barrel shroud, or is it a vented? One of them looked like it had holes in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a barrel shroud.
Barrel shroud, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it from getting hot, I suppose.
Well, that's interesting because a lot of times one of the definitions of these things that have no definition is that they can't have a shoulder thing that comes up.
Got to watch out for the shoulder thing that comes up.
Yeah, it must be a pistol shoulder thing.
Well, I just watched one video by Classic Firearms where they installed a brace kit and a ported barrel on a 12 gauge. So
we'll get to here. Now I'm feeling bad. Sorry about spilling the beans on that. Hopefully I can edit it after if you want, and then it'll sound like just a gap.
I was sitting there lying in bed, just ready to go to bed, listening to Daily Gun Show, and then I hear some crap being talked, and I was like, okay. Gary's calling me out. I was like, oh, crap. All right. What I was going to say, though, is you found it already. There's a great article back in October on American Rifleman that has a bunch of cool stuff coming out. But it looks like you've already found it, so. But yeah. Yeah. So thanks for calling me out, Gary. I appreciate you, buddy.
What are friends for, man?
Exactly. Yeah. With friends like this, I don't need any enemies.
After all that excitement.
You
didn't think you were actually going to get to go to bed after all that excitement of giving away a shotgun, did you?
No. I had just gotten off the damn phone with Clover like 10 minutes ago. I'm stuffing my face with some food. Go lie down in bed and my head hits the pillow. Just kind of got the Daily Gun Show on, and all of a sudden I hear Gary, well, that's what you get for not being in here to defend yourself. I'm like, oh God, here we go. Okay, all right, I'll bite.
You didn't hear what G said earlier, then, did you?
No, I didn't. So
he's gonna have to repeat that.
Oh, well, I'm embarrassed now, but because you didn't jump in here, I told everybody what you had told us privately off air from Walter.
Oh, you shouldn't do that.
Well, hopefully it doesn't jeopardize it. But you're probably not going to be in with them anymore. But
it's all good.
Now everybody knows they're coming out with that 380 ACP belt-fed tripod mounted office chair looking thing.
Well, it's based off a lawnmower. Actually, it's a riding lawnmower. It's kind of got like a minigun on the back. It's pretty cool, but it's belt-fed 380 off of a minigun. So just think about that. That's pretty cool.
It's supposedly like for recreational shooting, but then also if you got like a lot of weeds, you just
exactly. I mean, if you watch Gran Torino, this is perfect for Clint Eastwood. Get off my lawn, or I'll shoot you with my minigun. So
that's what I was referring to when I said that's what you get for not being in here.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. Yeah, the secret's out, guys. A belt-fed minigun 380 on the back of a riding lawnmower is coming out from Walther.
I told you it's a stretch, but they're thinking that's stopped at this point.
You know what the sad thing is I'd buy it if it was real. If I could afford it.
I would too.
If they could run a drive off of your riding lawnmower and then run that to like some sort of a air compressor and then you get a hopper with BBs, right? Maybe I don't know, something like either fertilizer BBs or like little garden, what do you call them, like flower seeds with like a little fertilizer, little
Interesting.
cake around it to make it round, right? So that as you and a little hopper, and you're like on your riding lawnmower, and it's creating this air compressors, creating air pressure for you automatically, and then you have this little turret up there, and you got like a thing where you're just shooting either fertilizer or flower seeds all over your yard. You know, you like
that
birds,
would be awesome.
dog and stuff.
Yeah, instead of tilling up all that dirt, you can just shoot holes in it. I like
That's right.
It's something to do.
That's a heck of an idea.
Back when I was a sucker and I had to cut lawns every fucking, it's my show, it's every fucking week. Then, so used to being in y'all's shows where I got to be nice.
I know.
I had to cut lawns all the damn time. You get bored as shit sitting there driving back and forth, right? Now you can shoot at stuff. Figure of seed hitting the window, even with a lot of air pressure, it ain't going to break the window. It's just going to break the seed up. So it's just like fertilizer.
Somebody needs to invent that now.
More importantly, if you live in an area with a lot of oak trees, you can gather up all the acorns and really have a good time with it.
Ooh, yeah.
Get off my lawn.
Acorns used to be some of my favorite wrist rocket ammunition.
Oh, yeah.
Loved it.
They'll do some damage, man. They hurt.
All over the place where I grew up.
Anyway, so you're in here. Thanks for jumping in. We were talking about industry, industry or tech. So you guys had one of your people that contributed to your big sweepstakes last hour or last show, right? Was the I forget what the name of the company is, but where they shoot the cleaning patch shotgun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably, I think I've heard of it before, but at least it's something that's back again and fairly, I guess innovative. It's not common, and it's something that, you might not do. I don't think I would think of it for like just plain old cleaning, but I can totally understand having a couple of those things in your pack or something if you're out duck hunting or what, or even deer hunting, and you knock your barrel into the ground, and or just get it all muddy or something, and then you just want to give it a effective sweep without carrying around a stupid snake. I don't want to carry around a dirty snake when I'm hunting.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that and I tried to get Clover to hint on it, but he wouldn't. He's bound to secrecy. But I think that there could be possibly a chance in 2019 that it's going to go to, Full Metal Jacket type cartridges also. I mean, it's going to be...
Oh, well, he's not in here, and I don't have any problem with telling his secrets. So here's he told me off air, and I'll tell everybody right now. I don't even care. What they're going to do is, like a Q-tip, they're going to knock the fuzzy part off a Q-tip, load that into a 9mm, and then that's how they clean 9mm barrels.
Full cotton jack.
Anything that you can do to knock the 9mm, right? But no, I think the idea is pretty ingenious, because there are a lot of people that, unlike me, I like cleaning my guns, and it's just one of those things I just have always gotten used to, just cleaning my guns every time I shoot them. But there are people that don't, and obviously these things are not going to perfectly clean that barrel, and they're not going to get everything. But for the person that doesn't want to take the time to, like you said, put a snake through that and everything and get all nasty, this at least will keep it to where it's manageable. It's clean enough to continue to do what you got to do. So, like you said, it's nothing new, but it hasn't been around for a while. And the fact that they came back with it, I mean, I think that's pretty cool. It's helping somebody out there. There is a market for that, obviously,
Has anybody cut one apart?
I haven't. No, I haven't got my hands on one yet. Clover's got some. I don't know if he's opened it up yet or not. I don't know. That'd be a really cool video, though.
Look like.
Yeah, that'd be a really cool video. Might have to tell them to do that. The concept is cool. I mean, there's all sorts, and we know a company that we've kind of gotten to know at Wanamaker, but I met them at SHOT Show last year. They've had, I would say, seemingly a big year, probably their biggest year they've ever had, but they're kind of everywhere. But Fort Scott Munitions has really kind of taken the lead, I think, in the market for the non-lead projectile market, because you see Fort Scott Munitions everywhere. So they took a very big gamble of putting all of their resources into non-lead projectiles. And I think it's paid off because they've had a pretty good year also. So sometimes it's nice to see these companies are taking risks and kind of going against the grain and maybe seeing a trend happening, but no one's willing to take that risk. And they did it, and it's worked out for them because Fort Scott's had a really good year.
Yeah, I can remember a year or two ago, you could barely find the stuff anywhere, and now it's everywhere. And their table at Wanamaker was just huge, and they had a bunch of new stuff they'd come out with. They're getting into the bigger calibers and stuff like that. And just pretty exciting seeing them grow like that.
Yeah, I actually interviewed them, did an interview with them at SHOT Show last year. They're down there in the dungeon and kind of in the corner. And I was talking with the owner a little bit because no one was really there. And he was like, this is kind of a make or break year for us. You know, we've really put pretty much everything we have. They went after the 6.5 Cree. They went after the 308s. They went after the 30. I mean, they went after a lot of these high caliber guns that were non-lead projectiles. And he's like, this is kind of a make or break year for us. And we've put everything into this basket thinking that there's a trend getting ready to happen. We want to be in the front end of it. Like you said, it could have gone either way, but I think that it actually worked out well for them this year. So I'm really, they're good people. They're very good people. So I'm happy for them. It'll be interesting to see what their booth looks like this year at SHOT Show, because I remember how it was last year. They didn't have all the money because they put everything into the product. It'll be interesting to see what their booth looks like this year, if it's bigger or not.
I hope they're getting some return on their risk, because it's nice to see a company that's proactive and starting to work its way away from lead, because anybody who has done any waterfowl hunting, I mean, that's all switched over to steel shot now.
Yeah.
So if we can get away from lead on our own, maybe we won't need any regulations.
Yeah.
And efforting toward it goes a long way for whatever they're sitting down to compromise, quote unquote.
What was that, G?
Putting effort towards it and research into it goes a long way. So it's not like we're sitting down at the table and saying, well, let's get started. We're sitting down at the table and saying, here's what we've already done. So what is your suggestion here? They always want everything, and at least we're coming to the table with some effort in that direction, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much better for us as just shooters to do it on our own, or have the companies that we're involved with, start to solve these problems before they happen. We could be a little more proactive.
It's nice because you hear, at least I do, I'm sure everyone on here is here all the time, that the gun industry is not innovative anymore. There's no one out there doing anything crazy. They're just taking the old recipe and just upgrading it. And then you hear a company who's literally put everything that they have into a product that they believe in. They're literally rolling the dice, trying to be innovative for the industry. And it's nice to see sometimes it pays off, because you don't hear the hundreds of stories or thousands of stories where it doesn't pay off. But it's nice to see a company that really are good people. They really are good people that really kind of they took that risk, and it seemingly has paid off. So it's really nice to see that innovation. And that's what I like about the dungeon and the SHOT Show, the lower level, is that's where you see the innovation, these smaller companies that are really taking the risk to kind of create something cool. And it's just unfortunate that most of them don't work out.
Well, stuff doesn't work out, but it gives somebody an idea, and then something else develop from it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, hopefully if one company fails, another will piggyback off of that idea with maybe a fresh point of view on it and do something a little different, or market it a little bit better, and it'll grow.
Yeah, see, I think a lot of it is probably the marketing. I think that the products are good enough, but if no one knows about them, then it's hard to do well, So the marketing side is obviously a major role in that. But Fort Scott's everywhere. I mean, you see them, like I said, you see it at Wanamaker, but you see them everywhere. They're if there's a big gun show, they're trying to get there. They're trying to be, a headliner. I mean, they had a pretty good sized booth at Wanamaker the last couple of times. So they're trying to put themselves in front of everybody, which is what you got to do.
If you haven't tried shooting it, buy a box of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've got a couple.
What do you think of it?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Now, do they focus on like a strictly self-defense style ammo, or is this some plinking stuff? And where do they come in price-wise compared to some other ammos?
Price-wise, I mean, it's competitive. I mean, you're talking about non-lead projectiles and all of that. So, I mean, they're using different materials. So, I mean, you're not going to go to Walmart and get it for what you would get, just a normal lead-based round or whatever, but it's not outrageous. They do have home defense type rounds, but I think they were kind of started with. I think they're out of Kansas or Nebraska, aren't they, Gary?
They're out of Fort Scott, Kansas. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, I think they started kind of with the higher calibers at first. They're big into hunting and stuff like that, and they have everything. It's just what they're trying to push and all that. They've got everything you want.
Yeah, their handgun ammo's in 10 mil. They've got a 10 millimeter now,
Yeah.
357 SIG, 38 special, 380, 40 Smith & Wesson, 45, and 9 millimeter.
Mm-hmm. And they got it all, But I know they're pushing. Well, obviously their big one this year. At least they announced it in SHOT Show last year, was the 6.5 Creed. But everybody was trying to get the 6.5 Creed,
Yeah, they've got 6.55 or 6.5 Creed. Yeah, they do. They've got 9 different rifle ammo rounds.
Yep. So they like I said, and I have no association with it whatsoever. Just the fact that I respect the fact that they took a chance and literally put all their eggs in a basket and said, this is either going to be a great year or we're closing our doors. And I respect that. So I have no association with them. So I'm not plugging them because of anything personal. I just respect them,
Yeah, it takes balls.
Yeah, I plug them mainly because they've been really friendly to me at Wanamaker, and well, I've got a soft spot for them because they're from my state. So.
Now, how far are they from you?
Oh gosh, it's about an hour and 15 minutes, not far.
Oh man, I bet you could probably get a really cool video of going to their factory or something.
Well, Hank Strange was in there a couple months ago doing a video because they went out and blew up a pickup out in the field with a bunch of tannerite. But he wanted to go in and actually tour the factory, and they said they didn't allow factory tours. Evidently, a lot of their stuff is trade secret or something like that.
Where? Who?
Fort Scott.
Now they've got at their home site, they have a big company store there, with all their ammo and stuff, and then they've got a stuffed bear and stuff like that that's been taken with their ammo and stuff like that. And
do you know the whole story behind the bear?
I've heard it.
It's awesome. Okay, so the owner of Fort Scott. I'm sorry, G. Do you mind if I tell the story? I don't want to take over your show.
No, it's what it's all about. Do it.
Okay, all right. So the owner of Fort Scott Munitions, his daughter. Now she started this when she was 14. I think she's like 16 or 17 now. But his daughter was really touched about. Do you remember when the Dallas cop a few years ago got shot? And it was just a big ordeal. And she was emotionally attached to the story for whatever reason. And so she started this thing called Blue Line Bears. And every time that there is a police officer killed in action across the country, she contacts the department and or the family and tries to get a uniform from that law enforcement officer. and she makes a teddy bear and uses their uniform to dress it and their badge and everything. Personally drives to wherever that is, whether no matter where it is in the country, they drive and they deliver the Blue Line bear to the family. So they're using the uniform from the fallen officer, their badge and everything, put it on this bear and present it to the family. That's a really cool thing.
And you can buy, they've got several tins that you can buy the ammo in, kind of like specialty tins. And one of them is the Blue Line Bears tin. And there's some of the proceeds from that goes towards that project.
Yeah. And I think that there's a percentage of every box of ammo also go towards that project as well. So, you know, it's a cool thing, but his daughter started that when she was 14, and you know, they drive around the country on delivering bears to families of fallen law enforcement officers. I think that's a pretty cool story also.
I like the way they market their stuff.
Yeah, they're doing a good job, that's for sure. I think they're here to stay.
Yeah, Fine Ape says all you got to tell them is you're a CNC machinist with 10 years experience. I think it'd probably take more than that to get in their shop.
Well, I mean, if you, I mean, maybe if you say I won't bring any, I'll drop my phone off. I won't bring a phone, no cameras. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it probably wouldn't, but it's worth asking.
Yeah, they might be all right with that. I mean, I guess it can't hurt to ask. But if they wouldn't let Hank Strange back there, I'm pretty sure they're not going to let Gizzard.
Well, and you don't know that they didn't let Hank Strange back there. They just might not have been able to video it, you know?
Right, that's true too. That's true. But there's lots of other stories like that, little companies that took a chance. I mean, that's how you have to stand out in this world. You can either do what everybody else does, or you can take a chance and, you know, change things up a little bit and hope that somebody takes notice. A lot of people will fail, some will succeed. But I like to, when I see local people like that trying to do something, I like to try to support them. And I think, everybody should. I'm not just saying, you know, don't buy nationally sold stuff, only buy stuff from local vendors. But by all means, if you see new people out there trying some new stuff, give it a shot. You know, give it an honest. I've bought a couple, 3 different companies that I've ran into in gun shows around here that have started ammo factories and stuff like that. And I'll buy a box of their ammunition and try it, and I'll let them know.
Yeah, we've got a holster company based here in Arkansas called Klinger. I've never heard of it, but
yeah, I've heard of it.
They really make really good holsters, and they're from Arkansas. And every gun that I actually will carry or could carry, I own a Klinger holster for those guns because they're from Arkansas. You know, the gun that I carry right now is I'm carrying the Walther, and I'm using a Klinger holster, and I use it for the shield. I mean, their holsters are really, really good. Now, they're nothing special. They're not any better than anybody else's Kydex holsters. It's a Kydex holster, pretty much is a Kydex holster. But if I'm going to buy a Kydex holster, I'd rather buy it from a company here in Arkansas, you know? So I agree with you 100%. You know, if you're not giving up quality, why not support them?
Yeah, you want to keep the local guys in business unless you only want 1 or 2 companies in the whole country making your holsters. I like to see the small people succeed too. It keeps people working, keeps local people working, and keeps your state's economy or your local economy good. You know, it's like G talking about, you know, buying local as far as your guns and stuff like that. You keep that money local, it goes into the tax base, it keeps people working, it keeps the businesses open. So you have more choices. Everybody wins when you have more choices.
That's true. Free market's a beautiful thing.
Yep.
Yeah, Ghost, I wanted to jump in and tell you, don't knock that lower level, because 2 years ago, Hudson was in that lower level, and they actually jumped in on somebody else's booth. They I forget who it was that they sweet talked into sharing their space, but they jumped in with somebody else to just to be on that lower level.
Oh man, I'm not knocking. I spent 85% of my time last year at SHOT Show in the dungeon.
Yeah.
I love the dungeon.
Yep.
That's where I spend my time at. I love that stuff. Oh yeah, I agree with you 100%. That's where, like I said, that's where the innovation is. These companies are trying new things, and they're trying, like you said, they've got 3 mortgages on their houses and everything they've got in this company trying. I love that fact. No, I'm a huge fan of dungeon. Love it. Plus, it was next to the smoking area, so it helps. Not that you would know anything about that, right, Pink?
Nope. Trust me, there's one up. There's one upstairs too.
Yeah, I know, but I always went downstairs.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know, because we kind of had our coordinated smoking times. So
I would always go out to rest my back.
yeah.
Bending over, looking at stuff, things like that. That just kills your back.
Are you going again this year?
Oh yeah.
Good. Yeah, you put some really awesome stuff out last year. Really
well, last year I kind of faltered because my phone battery was kind of on the fritz. So
I know that you also had Smeggy helping out some though. That helps.
Yeah.
Is he going back this year or no?
I don't think he is.
Okay.
Yeah, because there was one time where my phone just went kaput. You know, for some reason it just lost all power, and if it wasn't for me having a backup phone, I wouldn't have been able to call anybody.
Right. Yeah.
You carry a battery with you?
Well, these new notes you can't swap batteries out on.
No, I mean like a backup. You know, one of those batteries that you can charge things off of.
Oh yeah, trust me. I've got like 5 or 6 of them. Marco has 4 or 5 of them. It's just that it was sucking more power out than it was. Yeah, it was using more power than it was actually taking in.
It couldn't keep up with it. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But yeah, I got a new phone now, so hopefully it lasts.
There you go.
Now, do you guys have much experience with GoPros? Do any of you use those?
Oh, I love my GoPro. Yeah.
I have a GoPro and I want to use it, but I never use it.
So what do you recommend as far as somebody starting out?
Phone.
A phone.
I've got a phone. I mean, but as far as if I wanted to try a GoPro.
I have the 3 Silver 5, Gary. Oh, you like the Hero?
I've got a 3. I think it's a 3+ Hero. It's probably 4 years old, 5 years old. I've never had a problem with
Hero,
it.
You can't change batteries on that, can you?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Depends on which one you get. I went on their site, and the black one you can, but the silver and the white you can't.
Yeah, my battery pops out, and I can change out whatever I want. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's important. You're going to want to make sure you can change that out. I have the Silver 5, and that's got interchangeable batteries, and all the cases are the same. Anything new they come out with, it fits in. That's actually all I shoot my video on since my rear-facing camera shit the bed.
Now, just let me let you know about this, Gary. The audio is god-awful.
Yeah, it is. Watch my videos. They're horrible.
So what I'm saying is if you're going to shoot a video with a GoPro, shoot the video, do a clap in front of the camera, use an audio recorder, and then just use the audio recorder's audio and splice it onto the video. The video is phenomenal. The audio is trash.
You can get external mics for those GoPros too.
Yeah, you can.
As an option.
You can. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A lot of those, mind you, they won't work if you don't cut like the protective case and stuff. Some of that stuff needs to be dremeled out unless you just run it in like a frame.
Skeleton, whatever they call it.
Which isn't quite as... Yeah, and they're not quite as well protected, but that's not a big deal if you're indoors or at the house, you know.
And also, unless you buy, I think you can buy an aftermarket, but with mine at 3, mine's like I said, mine's like 4 or 5 years old. It still runs great, but you can't zoom unless unless you get an aftermarket attachment, but the actual camera itself won't zoom.
Yeah, and your best bet there is go into the settings and put it on narrow. That way the perspective doesn't look funny. It doesn't like curve that stuff, because like you put it on wide, and as you start to move away from things, you'll notice like your desktop will look curved or like rounded.
Yeah,
from the lens. Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't have the money to do it now, but in January is usually when we get our bonuses with my company, and I thought, well, maybe a little bit of post-Christmas indulgence.
Well, you could probably find this day and age a 4 or something for pretty cheap. You know, it's still
even
the
5s aren't real expensive.
I mean, you have to buy those used or?
Oh, I think you can still get the 5 new.
Can you?
I don't know about.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're nice and light, real portable, but they definitely are limited. Like Ghost said, the audio's terrible. You put them in one of those sealed cases, and it sounds like you're talking to a buddy through a cup on a string.
What I would suggest is, like, let's say you go to Wanamaker or something like that. You can. It sounds corny, but a lot of people do it. But you can get a little strap that fits around your hat, and just put it on your hat or around your head or whatever, and just walk around Wanamaker or whatever. You can get some really cool B-roll with that GoPro. You know, like a kind of an eyes view or something, first person view or something.
That's not a bad idea.
They have a chest rig also. I guess you wear hats though, don't you, Gary? So that probably wouldn't be so bad. But like the chest rig is nice.
I'm about half bald, so I wear hats all the time.
Right. Yeah. See, I didn't like the head mount because I'm not a hat wearer, and I found it kind of annoying. But I like the chest rig.
Hey, GD, when you were doing on the tour and you took a lot of the van footage of you driving on the highway, was that with a GoPro, or what camera did you use on that?
That's just all the dash cam, because that's mounted to the, basically what your review mirror is.
Yeah. Oh, so it wasn't a GoPro?
No, just a dash cam.
Okay.
I don't know if like comparable wise, but I think dash cams are more like rectangular than a GoPro is more.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, the whatever you call it, what do you call it? The ratio.
Yeah.
I think they're more wide angle. Now I have a what do you call it? A GoPro, but and it's the kind that you can connect to the phone app, so I can put the GoPro somewhere and remote control to it, and turn it on and off and record or whatever, and then see what it's seeing from the phone. So I figured, okay, that's great. I can stick it somewhere remotely, run it remotely. Never use it. I never have used it. I've used it like 4 times.
I actually use that feature all the time to frame up my shots and make sure I like the way things are going to look on the finished video, rather than that little 1.5 by 1.5 screen. But like I said, I've been forced to use it. I don't have any other camera to record with, so go with what you got.
And they take great video, right? They don't. I mean, the quality is great, and they're solid. They're rugged.
I mean, I don't mind the product that comes off my phone. It's actually pretty good, but for one thing, it's clunky to put a phone in a mount, really. Sometimes that doesn't cooperate really well. Secondly, sometimes I want my phone for other things. I want to actually be able to use my phone.
Once you figure out like the aspect ratio that you want to use with it, and if you can get some kind of external mic, you'd probably be pretty happy running it. I mean, the GoPros, I think you can get gimbals for them and everything.
Yeah, a guy out at work, the company bought one, and it was really sweet.
Yeah, they're slick little machines. They're not cheap, but they work well.
Well, I'm getting more and more into this gun channels thing, and need to be starting to do some more videos, so investing in my equipment's not necessarily a bad thing.
And you can also take still photos with that also. You can take pictures with the GoPro. It's not just video.
Right.
Well, here's my advice, because I'm super cheap, right? You can, going into a new form factor, right? Whatever it be, GoPro in this case, you can get an old one, a used one. You don't have to get the newest model, right? A brand new one. You can get an old one, see if you're even going to like dealing with it. For me, I have nothing against the thing. I just it's just having a separate thing and dealing with batteries again. I've kind of relished not having to deal with all that. So I just constantly forget to drag it along with me. I just don't bring it anywhere. So for me, it was just it was more of a nuisance than a benefit. So if you were to invest in a good one, there's a waste of money. So get an old one. Worst case that happens is you're like, oh, this is the best. I can't believe how awesome this is. And then you get a better one, and now you've got a bad one and a good one. You got one that you can sacrifice or stick in weird angles or something that you don't have to worry about so much.
Right.
I would say if you're going to pick up a used one, Gary, or an older one, I would do some checking to make sure you get the one that's Wi-Fi compatible with their app on your phone.
Yeah, that's a deal breaker for me. I really need that. So
yeah. And yeah, I don't know this for sure, but you could probably go to GoPro. They might have like refurbished, like certified refurbished through GoPro that you could probably pick up pretty cheap. I don't know that, but I know a lot of camera companies will do refurbished stuff, and they'll do it themselves, recertify it, and they're good to go.
And they may sell them through Amazon too. So.
Then you're getting basically factory quality. Just somebody else broke it first or didn't used it for a while.
Right, exactly. And usually, if it's a certified refurbished, you at least get some sort of a warranty, even if it's 90 days, but some sort of a warranty.
So right. Slim asking for whatever reason on the platform that hates guns and our culture and our community and our laws, things that we value. He's asking, can you upload the GoPro footage to your phone? Now, what I'm familiar with is stuff like that, like with the dash cam, for example. You can, but it's way easier. Just take the card out and stick it in your laptop because it takes forever to upload.
Yeah, you can actually insert the memory card right into your phone too, as far as I know, can't you, Ghost?
Yeah, you can take the SD card out of the GoPro, put it into your Galaxy or whatever that has an SD card. If you have a couple pictures there on that GoPro, you can put it right on Instagram from your phone, and then take it out and put it back in the GoPro. So the answer is yes, but I think G's right. Downloading it to your computer is easier, but if you have something you want to text somebody or whatever, then yes, you can definitely do that for sure. Because a GoPro, I don't think the GoPro itself has any internal memory. I think it's all SD card. Am I not correct?
I think.
Yeah, it's all SD. Yep. Yeah, see, I'm with Slim. He said his laptop's 12 years old and he edits off his phone. I basically do everything off my phone. About the only thing I use my computer for is administrative, to run some of the YouTube Creator Studio stuff. But I do everything off my phone. And that switching memory cards works really well. Saves you a lot of time over the downloading through the app, because that takes time to process and put it on your SD card. You might as well just switch.
And yes, they do have refurbished Hero 5 Blacks on the go.
That's a good camera.
How much do they have on there, if you don't mind?
$219.
That's really
cheap,
good, actually. Yeah,
that's cheap. And the nice thing is, if you look into that a little further, I'm almost sure GoPro, when you get them from the factory, replaces the lens. Oh, it's been a while since I looked at them. I know they replaced the external lens and a couple other parts. I can't remember where I saw that at.
Do they offer a warranty
I think it was
on those?
Their website.
They should. I'm assuming if it's certified.
1 year warranty.
There you go. 1 year. Great. Mm-hmm. That's even better.
Because really, you get a refurbished one, something gets past them, it has an issue, you use the warranty, they're going to send you a brand new one, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Can't beat that then. And that way they're checking it for like the known issues, right? When they get it back, they know what to look for. They're making sure it doesn't have any of those issues, and that's how they're, so it sounds like the way to go.
And for $219, you're not going to beat that, honestly. With a 1 year warranty, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Maybe where I go.
Well, I think that G's right. I mean, it's probably worth doing something like that to see if you're going to like it. You spend 6 months, you go to Wanamaker in April, you go to Wanamaker in November, and you use it or whatever, and then you'll know if you like it or not.
For me, I think it's because when I was doing YouTube videos, I used like this $50 Sony thing that was like the size of a avocado with a little wing that came out, and you could flip it around and look at the view screen from up and down and forwards, you know what I'm talking about? And that little form factor was perfect. You'd flip it open and it was on, push the button and it's recording, push that other button and it took a still picture, which was pretty decent, and then close it and it's off again. And you stick it. Now you would carry it in these little things that are about the size of carrying like a can of Coke or something in, like a soda can, that you'd get like a cozy or whatever. They make these little multicam insulated cozies, basically, you know, for funning around or whatever, put a beer in, and they work perfectly for shoving that camera in like a little holster. And for me, that form factor was awesome. So for me, the, what do you call them, the GoPros are so frustrating because I'm used to opening up a camera and having a viewfinder and knowing what it's recording. So that's what I expect out of a camera. So
Right.
you know, I got this GoPro, and if I would have just not had that glitch, if I wouldn't have like years of that muscle memory and like expecting to see what's going on, I'd be fine, because you know, you could figure out what GoPro's looking at. You know what it's looking at. You just don't. You get comfortable with assuming you know what it's seeing, and you get used to it, right? You get used to where you know what it's pointing at. I just can't get over that, so I just never carry it, and now I don't get comfortable with it. So it's just a never-ending cycle. It just sits in that pocket, never.
I actually picked up on Amazon. It was an aftermarket part, but it worked. It's not a GoPro certified part, but it works. They actually have attachable viewfinders you put on the back, like $45 or something like that. But it's not a GoPro thing. But mine has always worked. And so if you're looking for the viewfinder, they do have viewfinders now for GoPros that is attached to the back of the camera itself. But you know, but yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying. It's still small as hell, so it might not even be worth it, you know.
Yeah, I'd save that $50 and just download the GoPro app and
see it from your phone.
Link the two together. Yeah. Biggest complaint I have there is I haven't been able to find anything that like mounts to the GoPro that'll hold your phone, so you could like face the camera at you and your phone at you, so you can see you're in shot. You know what I mean?
See, that's what I do with this DSLR.
Yeah, I heard that the other night. That's a great.
I just got a cage, and you can mount different stuff on there. Sorry, G.
Oh, I'm just laughing because Gary's like, well, it's kind of awkward carrying a phone around. And now you guys have got him to where he's got the GoPro and a phone so that he can.
Oh, no.
So that he could use the GoPro.
Not while you're walking around. It's like you said, G, you get used to pointing it at what you're pointing at, and you know kind of what's in frame. But, I mean, like for me at home, when I set up shots and I want to do like a tabletop review or something like that, I'll turn the app on, and then I can look at my phone and make sure my shot looks good, and then I record. I definitely, wouldn't be walking around staring at your phone trying to run a GoPro and navigate all those people.
There's another camera that I see in competitions, and I don't know what kind it is. I've actually wanted to ask some people, but it's like a small, it looks like kind of like a lipstick, kind of a tube. It's about that size, and they actually...
He's not supposed to talk about stuff like that, so I had to take action. We have codes here, and we won't talk about any kind of makeup or tattoos.
And you're out.
There was this one, I forget what it was called, but it was cool because it was kind of a cylinder, like you're saying a little bit, and then it had like two lasers on it, and it was because like you'd stick it on your helmet or whatever when you're motorcycling or snowmobiling or something, and then you use those lasers to kind of figure out where it was pointing, so you could kind of align it and zero it with your helmet. Is that the thing you're talking about?
Well, this is an actual camera that they attach to their Hearing Pro. And so when they're going through the stages and all of that, it's actually videoing like a first person of their stage and the camera. It's like the size of it, like a lipstick tube. It's kind of cool looking.
Talk about the same things, newer and way smaller, I think. But the one
the
one I liked, that one I'm talking about was cool. And this was like 2010, so it was a long time ago. It was cool because you were like Predator, right? You'd have this thing on your helmet, and it would, whenever you flip the switch to turn the laser on, so you could see where it was pointing. You know, so because you could also put it on your goggle strap or whatever, your visor strap, or things, goggles, I guess. So it would sometimes get messed up. So you'd flip the laser on, see where it's pointing, and then you'd be like Terminator with these two lasers pointing out of here.
That is pretty cool. Yeah.
But the one you're talking about, then this is back in 2010. There wasn't, if there was like such a thing as an app to your phone, it was high tech at that point. So nowadays, I'm sure that little one just apps to your phone, and that's how you know where it's pointing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's like I said, I see them at competitions all the time, and some people use GoPros, but then I've noticed this one, it just attaches this little attachment to your hearing pro, like right there by your ear, and it just sits right there, and you get first person video and all that. So it's kind of cool looking. I use my GoPro, but some people are using this, I guess, because it's smaller and lighter, and they don't have to wear it on their head. They can wear it on their hearing pro,
Kind of like that.
That's it. Yeah, that's the one.
Well, that's about the size of the one I was thinking of. Yeah, Contour. Yeah, that's the one actually I'm talking about. So that's got 2 lasers in it. So you can like push some button on it, even with your gloves and stuff. And then it puts out these 2 lasers, one on each side of the camera. So that way you can know what's like, so it's level and where it's pointing. And then,
yeah, I guess I've never seen them use the lasers. Not saying they didn't. I just had never seen the lasers part of it.
And then you can, I thought there was like a button on the back, and you'd tap it like once to take a picture and twice to do video, and it would beep. So, and basically it had this like interface you could deal with through gloves. And that's why I always thought that one was cooler than the GoPros, but GoPros just wailed on this thing. Like, this thing's still around, but GoPros just, way more used.
I think GoPros really hit it big with like the people on bicycles and all that. They can mount them on their handlebars, and you see all people doing all sorts of crazy stuff with GoPros. I think the attachments is probably what made GoPro what they were.
Oh yeah, they both were in the running at the time, but GoPro definitely, whatever reason, they just wailed on this company. This company was England, and I think GoPro is United States.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the one, Pink. That's the one, and I see those all over the place in competitions. People have those running all over the place.
I like them. I think they're cool, and they just have a little rubber thingy on the back, and you push it, and the SD card comes out the back.
Oh, so there's a laser. I guess I never just saw the laser, but there it is right there. Okay, cool.
Probably it's like you say, people, once they figure it out, they know that it's on target. And the thing's such a wide view that even if it's off just a little bit, it's not going to really matter. And if you're taking a wide angle, you can what do you call it, crop it down for your fit anyway. Yeah. You can make it look right no matter what. Probably.
Does it say how much those things run, Pink, anywhere?
It said 134 francs. So whatever that is.
What the hell that is.
Back in 2010, it was more than I could afford. It was a shit ton.
Right, yeah.
Let's see here.
Oh, you know what it is? It's that slider switch. That's what it was. You just slide that switch backwards and forwards. So it was something I was like, that's way clever, because the GoPro had those little tiny buttons on it. And I'm like, it's neat and everything, but how are you going to do this with gloves? And these things were like for BMX guys and motorcycles with gloves on it.
Yeah, some of them's pricey, but.
So, and that's got to be the same thing. If I saw them in 2010, no way those can be a lot of money anymore. Like the new ones are probably way better.
Yeah. And you can probably get a used one for that also,
Right, they're so big. So New York Outcast on the Gun Channel site is saying, anyone try the Cop Cam that's on TV for sale, 2 for $20 with an 8 gig card that's on. They say it's 1080. Is that the little thing? I haven't seen what he's talking about, but he's looking. So is that like a little tiny? I used to have this little peanut one that was like $720 back in the day.
Oh, by Atomic Beam.
So it's basically a little tiny
spy cam.
Well, what do you call those things? What do they call it when cops have the cameras on? The body camera. It's like a body
cam. Yeah.
You would just clip that like a tie tack or something, and just kind of like having a dash cam for your body. And it's supposed to be what, a little rugged square box.
Yep.
2 for $20 sounds freaking awesome. I would buy a heck of a lot of it for $20.
Wow.
I had a little one off of Hong Kong back in the day, early YouTube, so 10, 9, 10, 11, somewhere in there. I was buying a lot of cameras because I was having a lot of fun with 720. Everybody was already going to 1080, but the whole issue when you get to bigger file sizes and everything. So, but when you could still play with 720 on YouTube and people would actually still watch your videos, I was buying 720 cameras, and something more like what this one you're showing on the screen now. I had a little one like that, and it didn't cost much. They were like $18 or something, and they were a little rechargeable battery in there. It wasn't much bigger than a peanut, and it had a tiny little dot that was the lens. And they took amazing little videos for those little tiny.
It's a camera right there.
Yeah, it's a body cam.
That kind of looks like one of those little car remotes,
Yeah, like a fob.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that one, it's got a speaker in it, so it's in playback maybe.
Wow, I haven't seen any of those. That's pretty damn cool right there.
And that one's already got like a fisheye lens. So the ones I had were just, what do they call it, pinhole lens.
Yeah.
So regular looking straight forward at some amount of distance. This one's like goes all the way from your peripherals, your left to your right.
This one does night vision too.
Oh wow.
And anyway, so no, I haven't seen those for 2 for $20, but that sounds like interesting. And for
so let me ask you a question, G. You said you got one from like Hong Kong and all that. Did it work okay for a while or what?
Actually, they were super rugged, and they cost like $18. And that's what I was going to say. For 2 for $20, I would suggest you buy a few of those. That's the kind of stuff that you can put on like the top of a stick when you got what do you call the uprights for like cardboard targets. You could put it like just on a piece of branch or something when you're out shooting, so that you can get these like B-rolls of all kinds of stuff in 1080p. It's not going to be your whole video, but then you've got like $10 cameras that are given that you can just stick places like Spider-Man would do, and video yourself.
I think I want to go try some because I don't think I carry a backpack for shot show and all that, and I could just attach one of those to like one of the shoulder straps and use it as like a body cam, like get some B-rolls, me walking around, just having it on my shoulder strap there, right in front. That'd be kind of cool.
I never recommend that, dude. There's teams walking around. There's undercover agents. There's people that are just, not interested in being on film. I wouldn't recommend it.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, for just doing something like at NRA or someplace, then yeah, it gives you that as you're narrating or something, some like interesting footage. One time I did a thing where I basically held the phone at about shoulder height for a while, and then after a while I figured out I could hold it near my head and act like I was on the phone and kind of point it straight down. So I'm tall, so pointing it straight down from me, acting like I'm talking on it towards the table at Wanamaker. And I walked all of Wanamaker. I think I forget what Wanamaker is. Is that 6 miles or 8 miles? I forget. But I walked all of Wanamaker, and it took 2 videos to walk it all. And then my idea was to fast forward it, right? But I forget what that takes, like almost an hour or something. And dude, it was horrible. Like I fast forwarded it, and it looked like you were gonna get ill. There was no way to like watch it. The best you could do is, because it was so shitty from like me moving the camera around and walking, so it's not with one of those, what do you call those level thingies like what you got, so it's all jumpy. So by speeding it up, it amplifies it, and it just is nauseating. So maybe at like double speed it could still be watchable, but then it would still take an hour to watch the damn thing. So yeah, so something like that, it might be interesting for like a here and there, but I don't know. You'd need it on one of those camera things like what you got.
Hey, Pink, what website was that? You got the double offer. I'm sorry.
The 2 for $20?
Yeah.
I think.
It's like one of those as seen on TV places.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the kind of thing that's worth doing a video on too, because if that works, then that gives people.
Right.
You can stick with a magnet on the side of a car or on the side of a motorcycle or something when you're getting some B-roll.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one that you see him sticking them in the tree all the time?
Yeah.
Look how tiny that thing is. Go back to that one. I didn't realize they were that tiny. Well,
that's right next. Is that like a AA battery? Holy cow!
Dude, yeah. Doesn't matter what size, unless that's like a D battery. It's like
right.
How big that guy's thumbnail is. That thing's tiny. They could get some guy with giant hands to film that, though. Yeah, for some reason I was thinking it was maybe twice that size. That's nothing. And then it's a retarded.
It probably was in 2010, though, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's half the size of the thing I was talking about from Hong Kong. Yeah.
That's crazy. I found a camera that makes my hands look big. That's impressive.
Yeah, I hear you there.
All right. Well,
almost like a nanny cam.
Exactly.
We've been talking tech and we've been talking the industry a little bit, I guess. But we've got 26 people watching, and I don't know how late we're going to keep everybody up. But I figured we'd jump over to hold on. Let's see what's happening here. We just got a bunch of new orders. So I'll put it out there. I guess I'll just do this since we're about to do some drawings for people who have participated by purchasing stuff over at the store today. Just shout out if you're out there listening right now and you were still going to jump over to the store. I guess that's the way to do it. Sort of like what you guys were doing with the sweepstakes earlier. If there's somebody that needs a minute, shout it out, and I'll say, I'll wait a couple of minutes here. Welcome to the gunchannels.com lobby chat. So, what was I saying? We just got 3 new orders, so that was awesome. So people have been ordering during the show here, so thanks for that. We've had a couple of extra, maybe there's something special going on in the Gun Channels text chat. I'm just going to leave it like that. But then if anybody needs a minute, we do see roll call out there. Awesome, thank you. And I guess we'll just keep digging in. So, Roosted, you did a video from that shop. I guess we didn't do it yesterday. I thought we were going to do it yesterday, but you got a link to that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Or if you just want to either screen share it or throw it to me, and then we'll take a look at that shop. So we talked. Did we not do the? I can't remember yesterday. I was tired. Did we not even talk about it yesterday?
Nope. It was Tuesday, I think we talked about it. Maybe Monday.
Okay. But did we do the video?
Nope, we did not.
Your Instagram thing, maybe. Okay, here we go. So hopefully Gunstreamer won't copyright us. I like everything about this place except for their sign.
Hey, y'all. JR here. Up in North Branch, Minnesota at SOTA Arms. That's one of our local AR-15 manufacturers. They do 90% of the manufacture in-house. All the aluminum, all the steel. The only thing they don't do is rifle the barrels. Go inside and give you guys a look-see here. First thing you'll notice when you come in the door, classic Minnesota. Gotta have the walleye on the wall.
So these are all walleyes, you're saying?
Correct.
So I thought they had more spikes going on underneath. Am I crazy, or I thought they had a spike underneath of here? When I first saw them, they were bass. Now I mean, I'm not disputing it because it's been a long time since I caught walleyes, and they were never this fat. But I thought they had a spike coming out of the bottom of the fin. I remember not being able to grab them because they were so spiky.
Well, that top fin there's got quite a few spikes on it, and if it was a bass, it's not going to have the teeth.
No, and they've got almost a way more predator mouth than any bass. But that's kind of neat. Those are huge.
Yeah, they're monsters.
We would catch them that might be this long, but that's fat, like the fattest bass I've ever seen.
Classic Minnesota.
Is that typical, or are these like world record pike on the water?
I don't know if typical is quite the way to put it, but I mean, you get up north where there's a lot of them lakes and the bigger water, you can catch some good sized walleye up there.
Gotta have the walleye on the wall. Couple of nice deer. Get to the good stuff. Here he's got his parts counters. You can buy anything and everything you want a la carte. Great selection. Super friendly. We'll kind of cruise around here, give you guys a look at the different barrels available. These are all his complete uppers, 5.56. As you can see, try and give you a look here. He's got a great selection. If you want stainless barrels, stainless muzzle brakes, it's all here. Go down a little bit and give you guys a look at some of the other calibers he has available. Pretty much any custom caliber anybody's doing an AR you can get here now, which is pretty exciting. There's the one I'm after. Someday we're going to build one of those 7.62 by 39, just because we can. Here he's got adjustable drop-in trigger display. Played with these last time I was here. Really nice trigger, really clean break. We're not going to mess with it a whole bunch. Going over here, so you guys some more barrel options. He's got a 6.5 Grendel. He's got 3 of them ready to go. Pay for them, bolt them together, you're done. Out the door. 224 Valkyrie. And he's got a pretty good selection of 300 blackout here. Back up a little bit. Nice 300 blackout pistol. I don't quite know what the story is with that short buffer tube. If you guys know anything about that, leave that in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it. So it's not a big shop, but it's homegrown, Minnesota owned, Minnesota based. Like I said, they do 90% of the machining and manufacture of all the AR parts. Super friendly staff. You guys need anything, give Eric, Melody, Joanne a call. They'd be glad to help you out. That's pretty much all I got, guys. Really appreciate everybody stopping by. Support your local animal shelters. Please adopt a pet.
They're so friendly that when you walk in the shop, they leave. I didn't see one human being in that shop the entire time. They're so friendly. They'll let you have free reign of the shop while you're there.
Dude, I've been up there for about an hour. They all ducked out of the way.
I'm just kidding. They're like funny.
Yeah, they're all in the back. They're like, oh yeah, go ahead, man, film whatever you want, you know.
Yeah.
Good people, real good people.
A lot of times, though, I found that too is that people, you know, especially if you just come in out of nowhere and you're like, hey, can I take some pictures of your shop or whatever? They're like, yeah, I guess, but I don't want to be, you know, I'm not whatever presentable, or I don't want to be on video or whatever. So they'll appreciate it when you're like, you know, either intentionally don't get them in there or like that, let them walk into the back room or something. And it's cool that they let you have the run of the shop.
Did I see a 304 Ruger barrel?
Yeah. Well,
you don't see that very often.
Something Ruger, right?
I thought it said 304 Ruger. I was like,
204, wasn't it?
It was on
I
here.
don't know.
Right there.
As available.
Yep.
Pretty much any custom.
204 Ruger.
204. I was like, okay. I was like, what the hell's a 304 Ruger?
Yeah, I mean, literally any custom caliber anybody's doing or has done in an AR, he can build you an upper for it, or you can get the barrels from him and build your own. And it's really cool. I mean, they do, like I said, 90% of everything in-house. They do the magnesium phosphate treatment on them, is also done in Minnesota.
You said they don't do the rifling. Where do they do the rifling at?
I'm not sure who he gets his barrels from, but he cuts all the M4 feed ramps in them, and all the I don't even know what they call them, the little lockup, you know, where your bolt face goes into the breech.
Mm-hmm.
They cut all that in house.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was pretty excited to find them. They were kind of like a little hidden gem. There's a couple other AR manufacturers in Minnesota, but they very specialty, and I don't know how much of their own machining they actually do. These guys, according to their website, it says they're running like aerospace technology style mills. So I mean, they can mass produce parts like nobody's business. They don't have to sit down and machine like one thing at a time per day. They can really hammer stuff out.
Might as well screen share this when I'm doing it. So I'm taking the some of the text you wrote in here, so I don't have to write it again. Like, you know, AR. Well, I guess I'll take local AR parts manufacturer from Minnesota, and then grab that, throw it into the description of the show over here for the gun shop of the day, and a link to their store. So that'll be a YouTube channel with 900 something subs. That's linking to them, and then I'll link to the video that Rooster did over on Gunstreamer, and then that's in the description of this video. So now when this video cooks out there on the web over the years or whatever, it'll be another link back to this site. It'll be another link back to here from an established giant presence on the internet, and that's what it's all about getting the word out about this to the human beings that watch this show, might watch Roosted's video over here, and then I guess might click on this link or watch this show. But those undertubes, that Al Gore sewed together when he built the internet, all of that needs to be fondled and coddled, and that's what we're doing when we sew this stuff up. So be aware that we have influence. Everything we do on the internet is watched. So understand that you have influence over the watchers, and act with intent out there. So we're waiting to see if everybody's down with Zorro. I can't check. I'll check after the show, but thanks. So if everybody's done grabbing stuff off the store, we talked about our gun shop of the day. It's Friday. We talked about the industry. Ghost, you guys had a sweepstake, something new, where you guys were able to bring together not just some of the people you've worked with or had relationships with in the industry, but also viewers and stuff, and then a real local shop, which is always cool to involve, and then that software that allowed you guys to do the actual, I guess, accumulation of points for all the different actions and stuff. So anyway, chat about that, and we'll let everybody wrap up their websites.
Yeah, it was awesome. Shout out to Guitar Man Pete. Pete was awesome, and it was really cool because I've never done a gun giveaway. Neither has Clover, so it was kind of a first for us. And we had the idea about a month and a half ago, but we didn't want to just rush into it right before Thanksgiving. Said, let's do it for Christmas, and let's really kind of make this really cool, since it's kind of our popping our cherry with the gun giveaway. And it was really awesome to see some new faces, and hopefully they stick around. Hopefully they've watched some of our stuff and not just subscribe because the list said to, but hopefully they stick around because they like what we're doing. So it was an awesome experience. We had 190 people enter, and I would have been happy with 50, honestly. And it had 190 people enter, so that's just amazing. So thank you to everybody who involved, and congratulations to Gun Snob. He won the shotgun, so congratulations.
Yeah, I think that's neat. I like how that software, I got to see, you guys show me how it works.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's expensive, but it was meant for companies that do giveaways weekly, and they can afford the $50 a month, and that's like the lowest tier. It goes up to really high, but I mean, the software itself is pretty amazing.
Everybody's working at a different level. I mean, I've worked with shops that spend $400 a month on, what do you call them? Throwaway newspapers, the weekly thing that you get at the hardware store on your way out the door. That's published every so often, every week or even more, or not every week, but every month or more.
Right.
And there's those bus stop benches and stuff. Those things can cost you $1,000 a month. And
the advertiser that you get with like the store ads and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. But the software was really cool because it allows you to basically, you set the parameters and it tracks everything for you, and so you don't have to go and see, well, did this guy do this, or did he do that? He says he did, but did he do this? It tracks everything, every click that you make. It'll track. It'll say, "Yep, he did this, 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 and this." And
well, like the way that
it's really cool.
But and it's not like a requirement, but it gives people an opportunity, and it puts it all in one spot. So when you're working with like the shop, and then the sling guy, and like the shotgun guy, and then whoever, whatever it might be, the entities, the it's not like an endless list that you're just saying like, okay, I'm working with so and so and so and so and so and so. And a lot of times a collaboration is going to be a bunch of people, and it's not like just because this person was the first in line, or this one was worth the most money, or whatever reason, alphabetically, you're not trying to give anybody a favorite status. So then that kind of a system allows it to be, again, with a bunch of people participating, they all have an opportunity to use it. And then the individual, not just you guys, but the individual, like whatever it might be, the sling guy or the gun shop or whoever, can also get some feedback from it. As far as like who's interested in what, or what kind of, how many people decided to come follow their thing. And I think that it empowers you guys to offer your worth in an honest way to the people that you're working with, and it gives them some actual like sense of worth, I guess is a better word, for what you're offering them. And that's awesome, because so many of those things, like I guess I'm keep comparing it to like an ad in a newspaper, which always seemed to me like one of those things, like the old school of thought is it's necessary, right? Like, oh, you got to keep the word out there, and some people are using it. But then it's like, who's reading that damn newspaper anymore? So maybe that was the case back in the day when there was like 4 options of things to keep up on news in the world, and that was a free one. But unlike a radio, where who knows where a radio might be on, that's almost a good sell still, because a radio might be on in a car, it might be on at the barber shop. You walk into a shop and the radio's on. You don't get to choose your radio station that you hear, right? So an ad on a radio station actually has some legs. But anyway, I guess what I'm saying is it gives you guys an opportunity to use some tech, which is fairly inexpensive, I guess what I was also going after.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, like I said, it's not bad,
100 for the value that they get out of it, for the power, because a lot of times it's not everything's a success, obviously, right? We're all living through real world stuff here, and not everybody's constantly listening to everything we do to pounce on it. So everything's going to have different levels of interest and whatever, and that's a way to actually judge it instead of just guessing. So I just think it's fascinating that you guys were able to use that, and thanks to everybody who participated, because like, that's not something that you guys just had money laying around. Hey, let's throw an extra $50 a month at this. Right. So it's always cool. And then thanks for sharing it, because so many people will do something like that, have an experience, gain the knowledge, and then just go off to the next thing, and not let everyone else gain from it as well. So thanks.
I think what was really cool is, for like, let's say the sponsors, they say one of the things was go follow Hunt-A-Go on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Well, now we can kind of give feedback and say, of the 190 people that entered the contest, 112 of them went and followed you on Facebook or on Instagram. And so we can go back to those sponsors and say, I don't know, you probably weren't counting, but you had an influx of 112 people on Instagram that liked you on Instagram. And we could tell that it came directly from this project, because we can track that stuff. And that's kind of cool also,
All right. Well, thanks again for doing that and sharing it on channels, because, again, you guys are cool for doing your stuff out there, and you don't have to. Obviously, there's more people over on the big platforms that hate guns, hate our culture, pretty much, let's decide if they hate us or not. But so many people are just, whatever reasons, using those platforms. So I appreciate when people are putting deliberate effort into putting stuff over, and then also paying attention to what's happening on a side that, again, is trying to do our best to support everything, right? So I appreciate that. And
I appreciate you, man. Always, you never have to ask. Thank you for everything.
Right on. So that also gave everybody time. So we got 21 orders came in today. That is freaking awesome. Works out pretty good, because there's 7 bags of loot over there. and that way I can give one out to every 1 out of 3 people will get something extra today. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good odds right there.
Yeah, and some people grabbed. A couple of people have ordered a lot of stuff, so there's some sort of system over there, and I appreciate everybody's patience. I am doing this by myself, as you know, so there's some of this stuff is a little clunky. I bought this like add-on to the store that lets you get whatever they're called, like value points or reoccurring customer points. It gives you some points on your birthday and stuff. So people are putting in orders that are basically taking us up on some free stuff that they've accumulated points. A couple of orders today were first-time orders. I don't think it'll just tell me right off the bat. I was kind of scrolling through them to see what they were for. A couple of people, I think Travis grabbed an Every Second Matters patch, so that's awesome. The Every Second Matters patches come out of the Beacon Group, a place here in Tucson, not us. So we give the patches to them, they bag them up, and then ship them out when the orders come in. So they'll come from a separate place in Tucson in a separate envelope. So appreciate everybody who participates there, because that's really the only thing that Every Second Matters has to keep it going. Anyway, so 21 orders. That means we'll do 7 giveaways. The people on gun channels are aware of the special treatment they're getting tonight. So we'll go slow for the people on the other platforms that hate guns. And I don't think we have any of the gun streamer people out there. We're not like the fancy chats where a bunch of gun streamer people and what's its face, full something or another, full 20 come over. And
Ashley hangs out a lot of nights on DGS.
Sometimes,
yeah.
But anyhow, we'll go slow so that the people on the platforms that need us to go slow keep up, and we will get a random thing out here. There's too much stuff going on, and I do not want to show people's addresses and stuff. So you got to take my word for it. I'm not screwing anybody. I'm going to go to random. Yeah, I guess I can try the random thing again, but I'm not going to try to keep everything there. So we got 21. And then what should we do here? Top and bottom. So sick of doing top and bottom. There's got to be some other way. So somebody got some other way. Obviously, I've got a list here of 21 orders.
Evens or odds?
What is evens going to do?
Well, if like you have a list of 1 through 21, and it's the 6th even number, you go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That's the number. I don't know.
Yeah, that adds another level of random.
I'm saying, yeah.
It doesn't. I still got to start from the top or bottom, I guess.
I know.
The numbers on the orders go from 6 to 27. That makes sense. That's 21 of them, right? So if I type in 27 over here, 1 through 6 are throwaways, but anything 6 through 27 is just correlates straight to the list.
Well, can't you change your minimum off of 1?
Oh,
that's what I was just going to say.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. I didn't even pay attention to that. So yeah, brilliant. Boom. We're going to just get plain old random numbers. We're going to grab 7 of them out of here, and that means 1 out of 3 people that participated in keeping our shit alive are going to get something to say thanks. Boom. I guess shit. I still don't. Oh no, 19. I don't have to go from top or bottom. That is number 19, right? So that is this person who. How do I know who this is? This is someone's first order from Littleton, Colorado. I don't know. Is that too? That says like a lot. Damn, that's pretty a lot of information, huh? And I don't want to go to gun channels and then say that. So if you want to subtly PM me, no one will see that. And like I say, there's perks going on the gun channel side today. There's advantages to being on the gun channel side. So that, how else am I going to identify this person? Is there a way when you guys order that you can leave notes or something? I never see anybody leave notes or anything. Is there a way to say like, mention your address or your channel or something when you order?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it just takes you to checkout if I remember right.
Yeah, I think
I don't remember in notes.
I'm gonna see if
What about their email?
right here it says no notes from customer. I think there is a place for y'all to put notes, and you're not doing it, huh?
What about email?
Oh no, yeah, I know. No, I see his email. It's just this person. No, I think it's pretty sure it's a boy. Man,
Doesn't give a clue though.
no, because it's not anybody's channel name or anything. So I'm gonna go over to and see if somebody in Colorado is out there who might be like, hey, I'm that person. Give me some other clue, and then I guess we can go look on the other side. All right. Well, I don't think we're. All right. So, like I say, there's people on gun channels know there's a reason why I'm trying to go slow here. So that'll be the first person. And what was it? Number 19. How am I going to keep track of these? We put them over here, and then it'll be recorded, right? Whoever is that? Done. So the second one will be, 27. Look at that. That's what randomness means. So go back over to here. Oh, snap. Guess who 27 is? Guess who 27 is? Guess who the last person to grab something from Indiana was?
Roll call.
Roll call?
Yep. And I believe Roll Call is over here on Gun Channels, and he knows what that means.
He wins every contest. What is up with that?
All right, so we'll be waiting for his response over there, and we'll go back over to here, and I will type in Roll Call as number second. So you might want to go check the gun channel site instead of being on the side that hates guns. And then we'll hit generate, and now we got 24. So there was definitely a reason to hang out and order at the last second there. So I'm glad that I was able to say thanks to Roll Call in that special way. This is, I think I know who this is, but I also don't know who this is. So here, I'm going to put it on the internal, and you guys tell me who this is because I am dyslexic, and I think I know who this is. Do you guys know who this is?
Yeah, that's isn't that kinky?
Oh, is it? Okay, so you're looking at the internal? Pink?
Yeah.
I can't see them on a phone.
All right, it's that guy. It's Kinky. So that's number 3. What you're saying?
I believe that's who it is. Yeah.
Let's see. Somehow verify what you're. I'm not screen sharing this screen, right? What? I don't know.
What about his first initial?
I guess. Somehow identify you because you can't PM on the stupid YouTube side, so that's why it's frustrating. Anyway, waiting for.
He wants to know what the initial. Yep, that's him.
Okay, yeah. So he's number 3. Good. So thank you very much. That was not your first order, so thank you very much. That was an Every Second Matters patch going out in green. Again, that'll be coming from Beacon Group, but I got your address here, so we're good to go there. And then waiting for Roll Call to let me know, and he will get that pick. And next we'll go to, that was 3rd, right? So number, yeah. So number 15 is the next one. I'm glad I figured this out because now I can do this on everyone going forward because there is always a unique order number, right? So 15. 15 is, our friend from Nebraska. Well, one of our friends from Nebraska who does a show every Saturday morning who I never get to join in on, who I mentioned earlier about a Every Second Matters patch. So Travis, is he out there right now? Probably too late for him.
No, probably not. He doesn't stay up too late.
He went to sleep about 10 o'clock. He left the gaming chat.
So, so I'm just going to say roll call. Did you see the video I did on Instagram earlier where I bagged him up? So yeah, Travis has got to go to bed early so he can wake up and do Caliber Corner, which he's been doing every Saturday morning for a long, long time on gun channels. So that's awesome. He will get number 4, right? So I'll go over here and say number 4 is Travis. And this will be number 5. 6. Number 5 is 6.
Shoot.
Oh, number 6 was the first order. That was actually yesterday, but I'm counting it because I haven't had an order all week, and I appreciate it. And that was a first order from someone. Definitely, every time you order, leave some notes in there. And I should probably start encouraging people to leave some notes just so I get some feedback, knowing, if you've got a specific free patch, for example, on Fridays, if you got a specific free patch, I try to give you something that has something to do with what you ordered. But if, you're missing a specific one or you got one in mind, leave it as a note. And then for sure, if you've got like a gun channels tag or somebody we all know you by some name, put it in there. This is someone in Houston who did their first order yesterday. So if that person is out there, they are number 5, right?
Yeah.
Number 5. How are they going to put this? Is from Houston. T-I-N or E-N?
Houston?
Houston's O-N.
Why is it 10? Okay, so anyway, if someone's out there from Houston and you ordered yesterday and you ordered the last 7.62 oval, then are you on the gun channel side? Yeah, so tell me, which one do you want? Oh, they're waiting to tell me, and I'm waiting for him to tell me. So that was number 5, right? So now we have 4. I used to have a drum roll. I should probably do the drum roll once in a while. 22. Or at least the Jeopardy music this whole time. 22. Oh. This was a 5th order from DTP. So DTP is one of the few over here to gun channels. This is a community that we built 5 years ago, focused on firearms. And you go to the comics, there's like everything awesome. There's a comic section. And then you go to the Soviet battle. And then you go to this one where you guys are running out of the van. That's DTP right there. He just won number 6.
Cool. I love those comics.
So if he's over on the gun channel side right now, is he? He knows the deal.
There he is.
We're waiting for roll call. They all have that deck in there, so. And then DTP is next. There was also Am I showing that over there? No, good. There's secrets going on gun channels. I definitely give preference to the people that use a platform that's created by people who have a passion for sharing the Second Amendment on the internet. And there may not have been some deals like poster sets going out for whatever price people wanted to pay. Stuff like that. Stuff that's not for sale in the store, in other words. So we have one more, correct? Kind of farting around as we're waiting for roll call, and then DTP after that. So I guess we'll do that last one. I put that in there, so now I can go back to random, and one last one. 26. So it's a little bit weighted towards the last orders of the day. I don't say I apologize, but it was random. But people that ordered early got screwed. Hopefully everybody.
No, one day I order in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. So it definitely seemed a little heavy towards the end. But again, appreciate everybody who participates. Definitely took some of the burden off. I was telling the guys earlier, I got $170 electric bill, and I am not used to that. So that takes a little bit of that burden off for sure. So this was, I think I'm trying to see, I'm not good at translating who uses their names and who doesn't. So I'm going to let you guys help me with this person who I believe is not helping me with their email address. But I think that's somebody who goes by a handle, or is that just their name?
I think that's just a name.
So this was somebody who just ordered on their third order, a couple minutes ago, 11:20 p.m. So one of the last orders, and they are from Missouri. All right, did we get an answer from roll call? The brown one? What does he mean, the brown one? Which knife do you want? Let's just put it that way. What do you guys think? Is that name in the side there that he just goes by his name?
I think so. Or maybe just the first initial, but I remember.
Yeah, I think it's just a name.
I think it's first initial and last name is what he goes by.
Okay, so if Johnson is out there from, what am I looking at, top chat? Stupid YouTube, stupid system over here. And then look, it tells me to remember to guard my privacy and live by their stupid rules on my own chat.
It's been doing that on everyone I watch.
Yeah, it does that to everybody.
But on our own chats. So I'm looking to see, does this thing work? Do you guys ever use this? See, it says that there's 3 people out there. I think there's more than 3 of us out there.
Just the ones that's still on, yeah.
I think it's a time.
I didn't see him on the chat tonight, but I have seen that name in here before.
Yeah, okay. So Steven is the number 7. I don't think it's you because you're in Ohio. Or no, you're in Michigan, right? Wait, where the hell is Ape? Ape is in Michigan, right? Quit screen sharing before I start showing everybody's names. So thanks, and thanks for, that's probably less graceful than your fancy sweepstakes earlier today, because I don't have your fancy software, but I do have a bunch of fancy people throwing money at me, so I really do appreciate that. It's allowing us to continue on. Let's see, we posted the Bannerman video, and I'm going to try to do one more timeline video before that software dies, and got some ideas. I'm trying to contact some podcast people to trying to move the show around, and we might do something midday, see how that works, and again, we'll continue to evolve as everything keeps moving here. So yeah, Fine Ape is not Steve. So I'm going to quit trying to catch up because I don't think that part of it worked real good live. But still haven't gotten anything back from roll call as far as which one he wanted over there. So that part didn't work out real well either. But DTP, if you want to throw in which one you want, that's what'll go out. Again, there's some offers over there on the Gun Channels chat for anybody that wants to jump over there and take us up on those tonight. And looks like Dano's out there. I don't know if he wants to jump in. We kind of went off into the giveaways and stuff for the free patch Fridays. Is there any other tech stuff we wanted to talk about, or any other industry stuff? Heading off into the end of the year and then into SHOT Show. Probably plenty of topics out there. But don't need to keep everybody up, and we've been going for about an hour, so thought somebody had asked a question out there earlier.
2 hours, actually.
I was going to say, I thought it was 2 hours.
Oh, snap. I just saw the 4 after part. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we were chatting for a while. Well, we keep everybody up. That's what we do. So I'm interested. Give us some feedback on what do you think of a noontime show? And we might be cramming a noontime show down everybody's throats starting Monday. We'll see how that works. And then getting together for some sort of a different thing in the evening or not. So give us some feedback. And do you guys have anything going on before Monday or over the weekend?
Nope.
I'm just doing the normal go to my daughter's stuff, so no, probably not.
You ain't going to work, at least. That sounds fun.
Ain't going to work. No, not until 2019. So if you do a daytime show this next week, I'll be around.
Right on. Does anyone know if anybody's doing anything on the gun channels this evening?
Looks like Angelina.
What is this all about? Canales de Armas El Noche. What does that mean? Years of Guns of Night? Pretty sure the translation is Ears of Guns of Night. And I don't know what she's trying to say. She's not good at Spanish.
Let's see. Spanish to English translation. Gun channels at night.
Nachos of the month.
I just put it through Google Translate. So.
Oh, that's really what it means. Okay.
Yeah, gun channels at night.
Okay. So it says 20 questions if she has enough people. So it sounds like if there's enough people in there, they'll be doing one of those 20 questions types of chats, which can be pretty fun, learning about what people are interested in doing and shooting and what kind of histories they've had. And they might even talk about nachos. So thanks, everyone, for participating in the things that are going on. And remember, the Gun Owners of America has a fairly easy to deal with way to I guess talk to write a message to your representatives. I did that the other day and got a couple of boilerplate messages back, but at least it's lighting a little fire. At least it's letting those political strategists know that their gun owners are out here and we're disgruntled. If we don't do nothing, then we can expect nothing. So Ghost will tell you, get out there and shoot. Check out the drill of the month, even though he didn't tell you. And he'll also tell you to turn your camera on and go shoot.
That's right.
Some freedom.
Anybody got a quote to take us out on tonight?
Caught me off guard.
I can run up real quick.
at least once a month and carry every day. Thanks for watching GunWebsites.com.